There's a natural law of karma that vindictive people, who go out of their way to hurt others, will end up broke and alone. When life hits you pretty hard, you can go into a dark corner. I am not the richest, smartest or most talented person in the world, but I succeed because I keep going and going and going. I believe there's an inner power that makes winners or losers. And the winners are the ones who really listen to the truth of their hearts. I'm always looking for a new challenge. There are a lot of mountains to climb out there. When I run out of mountains, I'll build a new one. At the end of the day, Rocky is a love story, and he could never have reached the final bell without Adrian. I take rejection as someone blowing a bugle in my ear to wake me up and get going, rather than retreat. Life is more than sunglasses and hit movies. Reality, that's the main event. I've been involved in something which was chaotic and insane. All I can say now is that I am, and intend to stay, a single man. For Rocky 2, I got a torn pectoral muscle, I got all beat up inside, I had to have an operation to splice things back together. Years ago I was diagnosed with a condition, and my doctors prescribed human growth hormone and testosterone for its treatment. Under medical supervision, I have continued to use both medications. We're all expendable. We think the world's going to stop when a pope dies, or a king. And then, life goes on. When I was in junior high school, the teachers voted me the student most likely to end up in the electric chair. I'll always have this blue-collar connection. For every guy, there is an opportunity to be a lot better than he thought he could be. We can't all be the star of the team, but we can be a star in our life. Crunches are much more effective than regular sit-ups because they specifically target your upper abdominal muscles rather than your hip muscles. If you're not used to them, they can cause soreness a day or two later, but it's a cool soreness. A badge of honor. When you're scared, when you're hanging on, when life is hurting you, then you're going to see what you're really made of. It would be great to be able to pass on to someone all of the successes, the failures, and the knowledge that one has had. To help someone avoid all the fire, pain and anxiety would be wonderful. The action movies changed radically when it became possible to Velcro your muscles on. It was the beginning of a new era. The visual took over. The special effects became more important than the single person. That was the beginning of the end. I could start a war in 30 seconds. But some countries spend 100 years trying to find peace. Just like good manners, peace has to be learned. People that spend time in a foxhole, they're never going to find that relationship anywhere else again. Everything else pales next to that. When you think about the Second World War vets, more than even the Vietnam vets, there's a brotherhood. The biggest and most interesting crisis in the world is the human crisis, and it never gets boring. It goes back to Shakespeare. You don't need a gimmick, it's just man against man and their intolerance of each other. When you're on top and you lead the parade, everyone's there throwing lilies and lilac water on your head. But when those parades have gone by and there's a storm in your heart, there are very few people that are going to sit there and listen to you bemoan life. I have a lack of fear, whereas in the past the fear of failure was a powerful motivator. Anyway, I have great expectations for the future, but I just don't know if I'm the monarch of all I survey. People don't realize that when they throw out their back, it's often because of weak ABS. These muscles are essential for lower back strength and good posture. Most action is based on redemption and revenge, and that's a formula. Moby Dick was formula. It's how you get to the conclusion that makes it interesting. I have all kinds of chest injuries. I tore my vein during Rocky 2, and had 60 stitches. If you've seen Rocky Balboa, you'll know how bad they look. If you're willing to take the humiliation of sticking your head above the crowd, maybe it's, the pleasure will be worth the pain. When boxers are in the ring, they're simple. It's when the fight is over, that's when the other fight, the real fight, begins. That's the problem. I think audiences have hit the wall with CGI and special effects. They have seen so many over-the-top events that they can't suspend disbelief. Click link in bio for free study notes. Limited spots, follow us now, study note 10.